Does anyone remember the days of Pyrex being super, super popular and trendy to buy and collect? And then it became such a saturated resellers market and you couldn't find it anymore. I was in the day a Pyrex collector, and then I also did some Corningware, Mary Mushroom, the vintage retro stuff, and I had no idea at the time it was popular. I just liked it, and I was always the kid who liked the unusual things, collected the unusual things, not commonly collected by people my age at the time. And I started collecting Pyrex maybe when I was 19 or 20, and it started, I found like somebody online on their blog was talking about it, and I was like, oh, we have some, and it was my grandmother's. And then it just became the treasure hunt in Goodwill and sometimes an antique mall. And so, I'm going back 20 years now, and I would collect anything I saw before I became more refined in my palate and preferred certain patterns or certain style dishes. And I accumulated a very large collection. And it's never been fully out to be viewed because it didn't have room in our little one apartment. And then it just never got unpacked in our first house. It stayed packed up in our like spare utility room, except for what was displayed on our kitchen cabinets. And that's the same thing now. We have like a second china cabinet that is just holding things because the china cabinet is broken. And something always comes up that prevents us from getting a second china cabinet, second hand. And I have the Pyrex that is in there, and I have the Pyrex on top of the kitchen cabinets. And the Corningware that I actively use, oh, pretzel, someone must be at the door. It was FedEx. We might hear her barking still as they drive away. But I have a lot of Pyrex, and it's stored in our shed in like big plastic totes. And then there are some totes that's next to a china cabinet in the corner of a room that, I won't lie, I don't remember what's in there. And even when we had a garage sale at our old house, I sold a bunch of Pyrex in bulk to somebody. So I have a lot, and I still have a lot. And like, I don't have any desire to continue collecting. I mean, if I happen to see an amazing piece, sure, that I really want, and I don't just get to get. But honestly, there's just none left anymore at Goodwill. It's just so picked over now. It's just not the same, and I guess that's why I'm not driven to actively collect. But my kids are growing up around it. It's just a part of home, and it's just something they knew mom, collected. But my son was watching some TikToks, and people were talking about Pyrex. And, my son's like, I think I want to start collecting Pyrex. One, there's just no place to put it in their room, and I don't know that I want these breakable things in their room on display. But he wanted me to take him around and show him all the Pyrex that's in the kitchen or anywhere else in the house accessible, and explain stuff to him. And suddenly the sun just went away. And it just reminds me a lot of me, because I was that way to my parents growing up. Tell me stories of your childhood. Show me things that are old and vintage and retro that you have, or talk to me about it. So it makes me nostalgic for how I was as a kid. And so I'm happy to show him these things and explain things to him in all of my geeky nerdiness. So he wants to go out Pyrex hunting, and I'm saying to myself, we have nowhere to put it. And it's just not going to be as fun of a hunt as it used to be. So I was like, you can shop from mommy, and mommy's store is free. So we unearthed a bin, and of course now my daughter wants to be a part of it. She's 6, he's 10. She just likes the prettiness, not necessarily the history behind it like my son does. I'm not fully expecting the interest to take off with her as it is with him. But they went shopping and they chose 2 pieces from a bin, and I took out 2 pieces to work into the kitchen because I was like, oh, this will come in handy for me. I forgot about this. But I just wanted to show you what they chose. So in Butterfly Gold, a store serve casserole dish, Cinderella bacon serve and store casserole dish. There we go, with a lid, this piece. And, you know, the lid comes off and it's in pretty good condition. There's some wear, but it's not, you know, dishwasher damaged or anything. And it just shows that it was well loved and used in its, you know, glory days. And this is the 473-B. And this is what he chose. And I have a lot of these displayed in our kitchen cabinets. He says he likes the stubby casserole style. So I'm like, hey, if you collect these, you can just collect this style casserole. You don't have to do a print or anything. And even if this is just the only one they choose, that's fine. They will have a lot to choose from if they want when they get older. But this is what he chose to start his collection. And my daughter chose a piece of Corningware. And I also have this displayed on top of the kitchen cabinets. But mine are like huge honkin' casserole dishes. And the only reason this didn't get put with it in display is because it just gets lost up there. It doesn't get seen. It kind of like sinks down. This is an adorable little casserole dish. It's kind of like a single serve brownie. And it comes with its own little lid, which is equally as adorable. But this is the Corningware Friendship pattern, and I always really love this pattern. I think it's so pretty. And the little itty bitty casserole dish lid, and that's what she chose because, you know, it reminds her of what's up in the kitchen, and she thinks it's pretty. So again, if this is all they ever choose, or they can say, hey, I'm not into this, take it back, that's fine too. But I just thought it was sweet that they were interested. And right now we'll find a place for them to put it on display that's not their room, because I don't want it to break. So yeah, and then I look online at the prices of these dishes, what they're going for. Are people paying the prices? Because I think we have enough to retire on then if I were to sell these things. I'm not. But are people really buying these dishes for hundreds and hundreds of dollars? Because I don't think so. I don't think that I would. Not after I used to pay $1.99 from them 20 years ago. But, so yeah, I just wanted to share that. Okay. I hope you're doing okay. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.